out on the outside, but it's Daring Run over on the right with For Auction, followed by Boreen Prince, and then after that is Larrigan's Hollow, and then Grateful Air, and after that comes Royal Vulcan and Brave George. And that's the whole field now as they come along to the first flight of hurdles, and that's Daring Run, who's going easily. It's not a fast gallop by any means. For Auction is second, Boreen Prince is in third. The blinkers, that is Larrigan's Hollow. Then in on the inside, Grateful Air. Between horses and pulling for his head is Brave George, and also back there Royal Vulcan as they come over, the first of the 8 flights of hurdles. And Daring Run going along at the head of the field, nice and steady. For Auction is second, Boreen Prince is third, and after that comes Larrigan's Hollow, and after that comes Royal Vulcan, and then Grateful Air and Brave George. They're approaching the second flight of hurdles, and the field quite closely bunched together. Daring Run, ears pricked, coming to it now. And he steps over it. For Auction likewise, and Boreen Prince just in behind him. Larrigan's Hollow on the outside, and then on the inside Grateful Air, and in towards the rear on the right is Royal Vulcan, and last of all is Brave George as they come to flight number 3. This is the third of the 8 flights, and Daring Run is over a couple of lengths ahead of For Auction. Boreen Prince just in behind them, and beginning to make a bit of ground behind these, not to lose touch, is Royal Vulcan. And then out on the outside is Larrigan's Hollow, and then on the inside there goes Brave George and Grateful Air. Now they turn with 1.25 miles to go. And as they stretch out and go towards the long far straight here at Leopardstown, Daring Run is the leader. In second place is For Auction. In third place is Boreen Prince. And after that comes Royal Vulcan. After Royal Vulcan on the outside is Brave George. And Larrigan's Hollow is next, and Grateful Air is back at the end of the field, though not all that far behind. They are approaching the halfway mark now, and as they come to it, it's Daring Run, For Auction a close second. In third place now, Brave George. Boreen Prince depriving him of that place now and going third. Brave George out on the outside. Royal Vulcan is next. Then comes Grateful Air, and Larrigan's Hollow has dropped back to the end of the field. They've got 7 furlongs to cover now. Daring Run by about 1.5 lengths. For Auction poised in behind him. Just in behind him comes Boreen Prince. Then Royal Vulcan, and after that Brave George on the outside. Grateful Air making a run along the inner, and then comes Larrigan's Hollow. They've got 3 flights of hurdles to jump now, and it is Daring Run stretching the lead now, and Frank Berry having a look over his shoulder as he tries to steal a bit of ground over there, and he sees that the others are coming along behind him. For Auction about 4 lengths off him. Royal Vulcan is next, and then alongside him Boreen Prince and Brave George. And Daring Run definitely a clear leader now as they turn towards the second last flight of hurdles, with For Auction in second place. And then Boreen Prince in along the inside. And Brave George is just with them too, so is Royal Vulcan. Now they are coming to the second last flight. Daring Run is over, and on the outside Royal Vulcan. Along the inside is Boreen Prince. And after them is For Auction, and Brave George is well there too. And here they head now to the final flight of hurdles. And it's Royal Vulcan who's taken up the running. On the inside is Daring Run, and For Auction trying to come out now after them as they come now to the final flight of hurdles. And it is Royal Vulcan who is going to clear this one in front, and he wins it. He must win it now, the way he's coming away, and it's Royal Vulcan. In second place is Daring Run. There's a battle for the third, with For Auction running on to take the third from Boreen Prince, but Royal Vulcan, trained by Neville Callahan in England, has won with John Joe O'Neill in the saddle. Daring Run is second, For Auction is third, Boreen Prince is fourth, Brave George is fifth, and after that comes the second of the brown runners, and that is Grateful Air, and last of all is Larrigan's Hollow. And I've been showered with pieces of paper here, one that says that Ladbrokes make Royal Vulcan a 5-1 chance for the champion hurdle, and the other one that says that the Tote in England make Royal Vulcan a 4-1 chance for the champion hurdle, and I'm sure Tony has something to add to that.
Well, in fact, it's Julian, and they played into John Joe's hands here because they went no gallop at all for the first mile. Frank Berry tried to slip them on Daring Run and indeed had some success in doing so, but when John Joe moved up on the last bend, quickly went in the lead. He's clear at the last. He jumps it beautifully with a 3-length lead from Daring Run, who can't quicken anymore, and for Auction, who made a bad mistake at the second last, looking surprisingly leaden-footed. Royal Vulcan, remember, getting £9 off these other horses, but he's the horse with the speed in the race, and they absolutely played into his hands in what really wasn't quite such a significant trial for the champion hurdle as we might have hoped. But a great